Welcome to Grab Bag Crafting. Today we're going to turn this into one of these. And this is a fun little purse looking journal. And it opens up with a pocket and a pocket for a pencil. Pencil holes right there. And 3 signatures, one of dyed paper. I don't know if you can see that or not. Dyed paper, tea dyed or coffee dyed paper. No, I think I use food coloring. The middle one will have, or might have, plain white paper, and then just some fun paper to end it up. Now, the pocket will look like this. And the making of this pocket is featured in another one of my videos. But it will open up so you can put things there. And you can put things here. I just happen to be crazy about Tim Holtz's little guys. At any rate, we're going to make this from a Chex box. So stay a while and join me. I think it should be fun. We're going to work with the natural folds in our Chex box. In other words, this will serve as the bottom. And I'm going to cut it into a 11 3/4 by 15-inch triangle. And I'm going to trim off the sides, and I'll be right back. Now you can see how I've trimmed this down, and I'm keeping this natural bend for the bottom. I'm going to pitch this, for now anyway. And my next step is going to be to cut this in half, because I'm going to want to double this so it'll be a little stronger. And this should be 5 7/8, and it is, okay? So I've marked that off, and I'm going to trim this. And once this is trimmed, I'm going to put one inside the other, and I'll show you that in a sec. Okay, in order to fit one of these inside the other and make a double flap, kind of like the flap you see here, I want colors that complement each other, kind of. So just give it a little extra decoration. But in order to do that, I want to keep this area at 5 inches. But I want to trim the top so that there's enough showing at the bottom to feature our color, our little color contrast. So I have trimmed this one. This one's about 2 inches, but this one on this side is about 1 3/4. So this is the shorter side. This is the side that will be on top, and this is the side that'll be underneath. So since this is the underneath side that has to be a little longer, I also had to trim about an eighth of an inch off the bottom of this, so that when I fit this inside here, if you can see, this has to come down to here. It'll have to fit tightly up against this fold. And then we will put this side here. Okay, if we didn't cut that eighth of an inch off, we would get a bowing, and we don't want that. So I'm going to glue these together, and I will be using my double-sided glue for that. And they will fit together like so. All right, and then I'm going to trace my patterns, and I'll show you the paper I'll be using. after I get my patterns traced and cut out, and I'll be right back. I'm going to demonstrate how I trace and place the body of this little purse because, well, this is the only one I'm going to demonstrate because the others should be pretty easy to figure out. But since it's longer than 12 inches, I had to join two 12-inch sheets of paper. And so I just used my tape to tape them. Now, since this is the bottom, I'm going to let this be the bottom of my piece because this is where the joining, you know, this is where the joining line is. And it might, I think it'll look better if we don't see that line there. So when I get ready to trace this, I will trace it this way. And I will mark where all the folds are. And, oh, that was a boo-boo. I will leave, right there and right there. I will leave about an inch around it for a flap. Now, okay. Now that I've got that traced and I know where, oops, here's fold. And here's a fold. All right, okay, so I've got that traced. And all I have to do is just kind of, I like to draw my flaps around. And I don't, you know, it's not perfect. But I just like to be sure I have an idea of my miter marks and all of that. It just helps me to stay on track with what I'm doing. And I'll mark this top and I'll cut that out. Now, in order to do my contrast, in order to make my pattern for the contrast, I will place the contrasting flap here, and I'll put it inside here, and I'll trace it this way. And I'll make a little flap here, and a little flap there. And out of my contrast, I will also make my pocket out of the contrast. So I will turn this around, and that will, for the pocket, I will need probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I will need about this much of the paper, and I will need to mark off the middle portion. Now, like I said, how to do the fold for this contrast is on another one of my videos, and it's a very versatile fold. All right, I've got everything cut out. I've got my outside cut out. I got my lining cut out. This will probably serve for the pencil holder. I have these circles also cut out for my closers. This is my contrast, and this will be for my pocket, which will have to be folded. So we are ready to start laying things down and putting them together. So we'll just have to see how that comes out. Sometimes it's a bumpy ride, sometimes it's a smooth ride. At any rate, it's always a ride. Okay. Let me be sure I've got top, yeah. Okay. Let me see if I can get it exactly where it's supposed to be, because once this lays down, there is no picking up and replacing going on. It's just start all over again if you mess it up. Okay, there we go. And here we go. Okay, all right. Close enough, close enough. A little crooked, but I think we can work with that. All right, so let's do a little encouraging it to bend. Okay, and we're going to make a snip here, right there, because that's where the two tops separate, and also right here. Okay, that. Other than that, we're going to encourage it on the other side. Whoops. And now we will begin our folding and make sure that it comes down as straight as possible. One side. Okay. This side. Okay. Now we're folding this. Remember, this will be our contrast. So this side. This side. Okay. And here we go. So far, so good. A little bit crazy right there, but I think it'll work. All right. Smooth it down. And see if we can bend it a little bit gently. Bend this a little bit. And gently. Okay, let's see if we've got our basic shape. Okay, so far so good. All right, now the next thing we want to do is to put our contrast here. Then after that, the next thing to do will be to add our closures. Because when we add our closures, we'll probably be using, well, we will be using brads, which will open up and have to be covered. So let's get our contrast on in a sec, and then we'll get some brads and be right back. Okay, time to apply the contrast. It has been sprayed, and it is sticky. I'm going to put a little line, a little dot right there, and a little dot right here. Okay, now if I can unstick it from my hand, then we will be able to put it right on in there. Okay, so that, I think we're good. Okay, here we go. So this will be our contrast, and it looks like we're doing okay. Now, next thing to do is to look at where to put our rounds and to get our string so we can get these attached. What I'm going to do is I'm going to double this. I'm going to glue two of these together so they'll be pretty strong. And then we'll mark it. Let me see, let me mark. I guess the center of this would be about right here. Yeah, we'll mark it right there. I think that'll be the center. So let me glue a couple of these and put a hole in them and get the brads, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we've got our hole puncher right here. We've got our Sudoku book. This is what we use to punch holes. You always need something kind of, I guess, soft that so that you don't damage your mat. And I will need to, I found my center, and I'm going to need to punch a hole through here. I'm going to mark the center mark for this right here. So we want to try to line those up and make sure it's pretty centered. What do we have here? We have about almost 3 here, and we have almost 3 here. So this is where we're going to make our stand, and we're going to put our hole right through here so we can put our brad through here, and not only our brad but our string. And doggone it, I thought I had the brad. Let me get the brad out. I guess we'll go with gold, and we'll be using the shorties. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap the string around the brad, and then we're going to put the brad through here. We might have to make our hole a little bit bigger. Okay. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. Our brad has to go underneath here. Yeah, because it comes out here. And what I'm going to do is tie a little knot. I like to double my string when I'm doing this kind of closure, because that's one way, anyway, to make sure that you get your string right. And, okay. So now I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to put it through the back of here, and then I'll trim it. Now, I put some kind of doodad of choice on the end of here, and we'll open up this little baby brad on the inside, and I want to make sure that it's as tight as it can be. There we go, because we're still going to have to put our liner over this. Okay, so that's the top one, and I can now trim this. Kind of tuck it around. There we go. And now we're going to put our bottom one on. Same thing. Just make sure I've got it lined up correctly. Yup, I think that will do. Okay. So we'll take our awl. I cannot say that for love nor money. Okay. And we're going to go through the middle of it. And make sure we have a big enough hole. Okay, I'm going to leave that stabbed right there. And I'm going to get another brad out. Okay. We'll lift it. And we'll put our brad in. Oh, crud. I'm sorry I bent it. We'll get another one. Sometimes that happens if our hole's not big enough. There we go. All right, let's see how this one goes. Ah, bingo. Okay, open this little baby up. Put it down as flat as we can get it. Maybe even take a little hammer and give it a tap. All right, let's see how this is working. Move this up a little bit to get it used to receiving the string. Okay, there we go. And around. And we have our doodads. Now, since this is hanging a little long, we'll probably wrap it around a little bit more just till we get the string where we like it. But next thing we need to do is concentrate on putting our lining in. Now that we've got our brads in, and maybe it wouldn't hurt to just kind of cover them a little bit with a little bit of tape so they don't make so much of a hump in our lining. Let's see, this is our lining, and I can feel it, but it's not too well. You know what? I'm gonna put a little piece of tape there anyway. Be right back. Okay, I've put a little tape over where the brads are to maybe smooth it down a little bit. And now I'm going to put our lining in. It is taped instead of being sprayed. Okay, since we have that brad hump, we have to be a little bit careful there. Let's bend a little bit. And we have our bend here. And our bend here. So our lining, okay, so it's a little crooked, but I can live with that. Can and will live with that. Okay. All right. So now we have to put our pocket in. And to fold our pocket is pretty simple. I folded this pocket in another video, which will probably go a little slower, but I'll just very quickly fold it so you can see here again. This is our Now, before we begin to put our pocket down, we're going to address this little situation over here. Now, it is very, very not straight. So our options are to trash the whole project and go drink wine, stomp and cry. Oh, I don't know. Or we could become creative. And I think we have decided to become creative because we are not going to throw away all this work. Now, I've cut a strip of pocket paper, and I'm going to line this up along here, and I've got it taped already. And let's see if we can't make this situation a little better. Okay. Now, the goal is to make sure that this looks straighter. So, we'll lay this here. And it is taped, solidly taped. And that is our new design feature. And once we add our pocket, who will know the better? Okay, now I'm going to put a little strip of tape right down here, and then we will attach our pocket, and we will next need, I guess, to take care of our pencil holder. Now we're going to attach our pencil holders, but first I've put a piece of tape down here so we can divide this into two spaces and hold this down. So that will allow us to, I don't know, if you wanted to put, well, you can put your smaller cards over here and a larger card across, and we'll deal with that in a little bit. But right now, I want to explain how to make your pencil holder. This is about roughly, I guess, 1.5 inches wide and probably 2¼ inches long. And as you can see, I hope you can see, I have a piece of tape right here. And all you have to do for this part of our pencil holder is to grab a reasonable size pencil, that's average size pencil, roll it not too tightly around here, and when you get to the point where the tape is or your glue is, okay, hold on, come on, tape, cooperate with me. Okay, maybe we can do it from this end. You're just going to peel your tape off if it chooses to. This is, I can't believe this. Of all the times for it to, okay, there it goes. All right, so once you get that around there, okay, and you see your pencil fits pretty well, that's fine. What you're going to do is take your wood glue or whatever kind of glue you choose to use, center it, and you're going to glue it right here. You're going to glue it to the body of your little purse, as close as you can to the top of your pocket. And I prefer to use wood glue. It's quick, and I don't know, I just like it. So we're going to smear our wood glue right across here. And yes, I will have wood glue fingers. So we're going to attach this here, right there, and let it set a bit. Doesn't take wood glue very long. Now, for the other part of our pencil holder, it's a little different. I've got the other part started. Oh, shoot. Did I just get glue on that? Yes, I did. And that is not good. Anyway, I got this started. Same process. We're going to roll our basic pencil around. But when we get to, if you notice, I've got a longer stretch of adhesive here. We'll see if this will be a little kinder to me. Okay, so we're going to roll it down right until it meets some of the adhesive, but we're going to leave this much adhesive here, and then we're going to cut it because we're going to have to attach this to our pocket. So I'm going to attach it right there. And we're going to test it out to make sure. Yep, our pencil will go through. Okay, so we're going to take the other one and do exactly the same thing. And that will provide a sitting place for our pencil. Just roll it up and then remove this tape. Roll some more till it's halfway through the tape. Take the pencil out. Oh goodness. Trim this. And we're going to eyeball about how, I think, uh-oh. Okay, oh well. That's where it settled. So this is where our pencil will go. Okay. So we've got that. And the only thing left to do, really, is to think about embellishments and put our paper in. We have to decide what kind of paper we want in here. And that's completely up to you. That's how the outside of it will look, and it looks pretty good, I think. And putting our paper in will be our last step. Now I am ready to put my pages in, or my signatures, and these are the three I have chosen. I have chosen paper that I enjoy, paper that I dyed, and I used some stencils to make interesting shapes on them. So I'll use one group of those. I intend to do some writing on my granddaughter's notebook paper. And so that'll go in some long pages, some short pages. And I'll probably glue things down on some of this paper bag looking paper. I have decided to keep this journal for myself and just play in it. So these are the three signatures. And signatures are just the groups of pages that I'm going to put in my book. I decided on the size of the page by simply looking at how much space I had. I didn't want the pages to come up too much farther than this, so I'd have at least an inch of air at the top so the book could close well. In order to do that, I have cut out I guess, let me measure this. Okay, I've cut out this spine that is about 1/8 of an inch smaller than this space I have here, and I've made sure that my book will still close. And I have covered it with the same paper that I've used for my lining. And if you can see, I guess you can see I've got 3 dots here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 3 here and 3 here. And these will tell me exactly where to stitch in, to sew in my signatures. Now I'm going to glue this down. And once this is glued into place, I will take a needle and some more of my green thread, and I'll sew in the first signature so you can see or get an idea of how it's done. And then I will do the other 2 off camera, and I will come back and we will embellish this. Now we're inviting the Sudoku book back to the party because we're going to have to make some more holes. So The holes will have to go through the spine, all the way through the back of the book. And there are a lot of videos on YouTube on how to do the stitch that I'm going to do to put my pages in. It's called a pamphlet stitch. And it's pretty easy. So these are the holes that I have to make. So I'll know where to put my stitches. And after I put these holes in, I will have to make a similar attack on my signatures or my pages. And this is a nice, easy way of just making a little journal. Okay, so next thing I will have to do is measure out about 3 times the size of the 2 of the length of the book that I'm doing. So I've got that. I will have to grab a nice big embroidery needle, which I keep handy right in here. And these clips will help me to clip in my signature while I am trying to get it sewn in. Okay, so we will thread our needle and we'll put that to the side. Now my first one, I want to be my pretty dyed paper. So that's going to be my first set. And see, don't want it to be too far out. Okay, this is the top. This is the tricky part. This is the top. So this is a little guide that will help me get my holes all lined up with each other so I can get them in the right places. And I want to be sure I've got these. Yep. Okay. Now I want to hold that, and I'm going to use my clip to clip this in and hold it steady on this side and on this side. And then I'm going to take my awl, and I'm going to use my little guide. Sometime I can kind of see, if I hold the pages just right, I can really see where the hole is. But I guess I'll use this time. And okay, there we go. That's one hole. And okay, looks about right. And this is, we have to be sure these holes line up with the holes that I made in the book. Okay, 2. And this is the last one. Let's see. Where are you? Right there. Okay. Now, I'm going to stitch this in, and I will start with the middle hole. We'll go all the way through. Oh, shoot. Okay. We'll go all the way through, but I'm going to leave a little tail here because I'm going to want to come back and tie that. And then I will come through here. I'll try very hard not to stick myself. Let's see if I got that right. Sometimes it's hard to, okay. This hole wasn't quite on the mark. Okay. Okie dokie. I'm going to pull this tight. And we're going to go up to this hole and through here. Okay. And then we're going to come back through the middle hole. Okie dokie. Now, that's all we need to do. Now we just need to tighten this up and tie it. Hold on. Got to make sure it's not twisted around itself. Okay, hold on. Okay, pull it tight. Did it manage to get twisted around itself? Of course it did, because I'm trying to show you how to do it. Hold on. Okay. All right. Now we're going to pull this tight. And then we're going to have one string on one side and one string on the other side. And now we're going to tie it. Tie it pretty tight. There we go. And then we're going to turn around and tie it again and make a nice knot. I'm going to tie mine one more time just to be sure. Okay. All right. And that is how we put our signature in. All right. I'm going to put the other two signatures in, and then we will come back and decorate it a little bit. And that should be the finish. Okay. I have all my pages, my signatures in, and I have decided I'm going to keep this. I am going to just junk it up. I'm going to write in it. I'm going to paste things in it. I'm just going to let it be my, I don't know, art, writing, whatever kind of little journal that I want to, whatever I feel like doing that day. But now, as far as embellishment is concerned, I think I would like to just put a butterfly or two on here. I don't think it needs a lot. So we'll put let's put a green butterfly here on this side. Oh, if we can peel him off without destroying him. Okay. Yeah, I like that. I think that's a nice little embellishment for there. And for the outside, I think, you know what? I would like a sentiment here. Collect beautiful moments, because that's what I intend to do with this little book. So, let me see. Do I have my glue? Do I have enough of this to attach it? Let's see. I hope I do. I hope I do. And I think I do. Okay, we'll attach this little buddy with this two-way tape. And I'll put this on our our little emergency embellishment area, but I think it turned out quite nicely. Okay, collect beautiful moments. We'll put that right here. And on the outside, and close it up. The nice thing about this particular closure, the nice thing about this particular closure is that, you know, you can make it as tight or as loose as you want it. And I think I would like a purple butterfly to adorn the front. And I think, yeah, about right there. I think that's about all we need for this. And so, I hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial. Here are 2 other ones that I've made. And they're really, really cute and fun to use. So, thanks for joining me. And if you like this, give it a like and please subscribe.